of the countless spots in the state of New Jersey that could potentially be haunted, the landmark Jersey City Loews Movie Palace is probably at the top of the list. Patterned after the grand opera houses in Europe, these elaborate, decadent movie palaces sprang up all over the United States in the 1920s and have attracted millions of audience members, all in the pursuit of the ultimate escape. When I found out I was going to be documenting the first annual Saturday Nightmares Horror Expo at the landmark Loews, I felt like a kid in a candy store. From its Gothic, original moldings and creepy faded tapestries, to the massive 3,000-plus seat proscenium stage theater, I knew I had my work cut out for me. My camera in tow, I slowly made my way up several darkly lit stairwells and into a seemingly endless series of pitch-black hallways. Somehow, I was determined to make my way to the roof, where I had a date with a dragon. I knew that covering the expo was going to be a big deal, but I'm not sure I knew just how big. That is until I saw the rush of luminaries filing out onto the stage one after the other for the panel discussion hosted by Roy Frumkus. If the audience reaction alone was a gauge, history was clearly being made that day.
it's coffee, under coffee.
No, but I thought we put it on the mat more or something.
Maybe because you spelled it wrong or something.
Well, I'm sure he's telling them
Yeah.
different ways. Hey, what's... Oh, great. Okay, it's okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt can go to sleep tonight.
The things you never
Okay.
expect.
No.
Okay, thanks.
So it's good?
Actors names.
Well, I want to make better signs.
I'll make sure there's enough chairs by each table. The rest of the chairs back here.
Thanks for helping me, Dad.
Yeah.
Light on the man with a light.
Light on light.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Just want to grab some bottled water for you guys.
Here, wait. Oh, this is seltzer.
Yeah, it's an I'll get regular water.
No, they have the cases of water. They're bringing all that stuff up. Yeah.
Amazing job he's doing. Amazing job everybody's doing.
We'll say we'll kiss each other on Sunday. How does this look? Did you light it up?
No, we just found the extension cord to see if we can. Actually, we have to go up there and turn it on.
Point right here. Back here is not
Lawrence,
bad.
grab the other end of that. We'll just push it.
Which tables did you want?
4 tables that are all the same height.
How many people with her anymore?
Just one, just her.
Just her?
Just her, yeah. But she needs 2 tables because she has a lot of pictures.
Okay.
Ah.
Adrienne Barbeau here.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
There's something right back behind.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Just going over there.
I'm on channel 2. No, I'm on channel 1.
Time for a sound check.
I hate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Academy, I'd like to present Tom with the, I know you walks by like a
faulty walkie-talkie.
walks by, doesn't even accept it. Unbelievable. He's on camera. Shoot that woman! Hey! Going in!
My terminology and dermatation. Sit down, Seth.
That's two you wasted, Steele. That's three. That's hamina.
It's actually got it's a silicone skin with a urethane understructure. You could drive a truck over this thing.
Really? And it's not.
So what we did was we mounted it, and it was a fight sequence. So then we mounted this, and the other actor literally, we just slammed it right through a wall, and then we put the actor in the hole, and then pulled him out.
Right.
But I mean, you could, I mean, like I said.
That's one menacing pitchfork you've got there.
I hear that a lot.
Let's get some ingredients for my next pie. Yes. Ah, you look tasty.
She is tasty.
Now I'm going to make you into a pie. Yes.
Shoot that mother in the head! And pus suck, you mother. Shoot him in the. You get the. You walking pile of pus.
In Dawn of the Dead, when you like bust out of the door, what is it that you yell out?
I think first it has something to do with there must be 1,000 pigs.
Oh, okay, okay.
There must be 1,000 pigs out here, or something like that.
All right.
Yes. So you guys remember this stuff better than I do.
So I'm gonna do a little intro for you. Okay. I'll run it and then get people in there for you.
Okay, great.
And then just go up to the stage. John will be up there with the mic.
I usually do better.
You're a perfectionist.
Yeah, I usually am, man. You want to see good makeup? You gotta see the rest of my friends.
Of course, this is the new definitive documentary.
cut 20 minutes out of the one you saw to make more energy.
There's a whole new documentary?
Yeah, I've been shooting it for 32 years. It's been released twice. Each time it's longer. This is the longest version. Jesus.
I want what he's having.
I got the best seat in the house.
Had there ever been a pie-in-the-face zombie prior to you in that film?
No.
I think you were the groundbreaker where that goes.
Yeah, well, again, that was George. You know, we went up there. We were this little crew that was told to stay 100 feet away from him. But my DP was a Marine commando in Vietnam. He was in the Tet Offensive. And he said, I'm not taking this. Let's go. And he grabbed the crew, and they were on their bellies going across the mall. And George, since Dawn in his eyes was a war film with a horror overlay, he loved that we were doing these combat maneuvers, and he brought down the veil and let us just do whatever. Then came the pie in the face. Then, months later, when he was editing it, and I didn't have enough money to go back, I called Michael Gornick, his DP, and said, would you just shoot one 400-foot roll of 16? And George was editing, and so knowing it was for me, he edited the scene of me with the pie. You know, I mean, it was what a sweet guy.
Absolutely.
That's.
You know, I'm not sure if I'm going to get a chance to do a sit down with him, so I'll ask you, as you're probably the one to ask. You know, the social commentary with regards to his films is legion, and what he's trying to say. Would it be an overgeneralization to say that the zombies are the Republicans and the humans are the Democrats?
He certainly was, you know, from that era. You know, I mean, Night Riders is like a hippie's last dream fantasy. You know. So yes, he's liberal, but as he mentioned last night during the panel, the whole thing with Dwayne with a black protagonist getting killed and thrown was not intended.
Was it your intention to have a racially charged ending in Night of the Living Dead with the lynch mob standing over Ben with the meat hooks dragging him out?
You know, when we wrote the script for that, Ben was not an African American. When we wrote the script, he was in our mind, he was a white guy. The two things that happened when Dwayne agreed to do the role, we said, well, you know what, we're not going to change the script. We thought we were going to be very hip and not change the script. In fact, Dwayne felt that maybe we should. So all of that stuff happened when in our minds he was not an African American. So it goes to show you what sort of power it takes on when he suddenly becomes an African American. I mean, that posse was a bunch of rednecks, assholes, when we first conceived them, and they were assholes when they shot at a white guy or a black guy or an Indian or whatever. But the power of that, of course. And I don't think any of us realized how powerful it was going to be. The night we finished that film, cities the size of Pittsburgh used to have film laboratories, so we were able to completely finish that film and make what's called an answer print, a final print, completed print. And we threw it in the trunk of a car and drove it to New York to see if anyone wanted to distribute it. And that night, while we were driving to New York, with the first answer print of Night of the Living Dead in the trunk of the car, we heard the news on the car that evening that Martin Luther King had been assassinated. And, you know, so, I mean, this, to some extent, all of a sudden the film takes on even that much more power, you know. And we can't take credit for that wasn't by design. It was, I think all we can take credit for is that we were willing to do it that way and not change it.
Thank you.
Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. The elephant is just coming into the room. We're going to talk about not the policies, but the fact that we have an African American
President.
We have to talk about this, don't we? I mean, like he's smuggling dope. Cocaine looks like he's smuggling dope, sorry. They go scot-free onto the plane. Me and the guy that look like we come off the golf course, we're fucking being frisked crazy. We were so drunk, we were in first class, and they did not have solid dressing for the salads. And I'm with these guys, they're drunk. So they scream, no salad dressing! What's going on here? By the time we landed, people were incensed. They wanted us dead. From the tail end of that plane all the way up to first class.
It's fantastic here. This is the best venue I've ever seen for a horror convention.
Yeah, this is kind of the pièce de résistance here of conventions here anyway.
Couldn't be better.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
You, of course, are the star of Martin, the classic George Romero vampire film.
I am indeed. Yes, it's already 34 years old. Can you believe it?
Wow.
I'm always gratified when I'm signing an autograph for Martin, especially. When somebody that was born in 1980 and they still know this film, and so it's had some real lasting power, and greatly appreciated.
Well, and that, of course, along with George Romero's wonderful direction, is of course reflective of your amazing performance. Your performance is, we were talking about this. I was very, very taken with the depth and the empathy that I felt for your character.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I was asked yesterday, how I did that, and I really skirted the issue, but I think it's all about if you have the understanding psychologically of what you need and what you want, it expresses itself in your body, and so it expresses itself physically. And
aside from being an amazing actor, you have, and as far as working with George Romero, you are very much a jack of all trades. You've worn many hats, right?
Yes, I have. Yeah, even with George, I've worn several hats. Yeah, with Don, I did a lot of. I got casting credit, but mostly what I cast were zombies. And a lot of them.
But I would assume not everybody can be a zombie.
Not everybody can be a zombie. No. We were able to find actually some of the zombies that became kind of lead zombies, But a lot of them were fans that just wanted to be in and around George and George's work.
Be part of that history.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that seems to be definitely the case with the people here, that have come like you and Adrienne Barbeau, Tom Savini. It seems like he definitely has, that there's definitely a family environment, with you people that have worked together, and you enjoy working together multiple times.
That's what I've always said. Working on a set with George is like working with a family. Everybody gets along. Everybody pitches in. Everybody gets their hands dirty. Everybody gets their hands dirty, and everybody likes each other. And it's really due to the fact the way George is, he has an even temperament, and easy to get along with, and humor, and so he makes it very comfortable for actors and crew alike.
And when the script came to me with an offer never seen anything of George. I said, no, I think, you know, did he direct China Syndrome? I was in the politically correct, you know, let's flute. I was watching things like that. So John sat me down and showed me Night of the Living Dead, and I still didn't get it because this is not my field. But Tom Atkins was a very close friend of mine. And I knew that Tom knew George from Pittsburgh, and that Tom was already cast in the film, I think. And so I called Tommy and I said, Tommy, you're going to do this movie? He said, you have to do this film, and you don't understand it at all. George has a real specific style, the way he's going to approach it, and just trust me and trust John that he knows what he's talking about, and trust us that George knows what he's talking about. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it.
You make it known often that the horror genre is not your genre.
Well,
and yet you've done so well.
Asking me, you know, they say, well, what did you think of, you know, the remake of The Fog? I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't like to be scared. I like action adventure. I'm the first one there for James Bond or The Bourne Identity,
right.
or you know. But I don't go to chick flicks either, so you know, I'm not the one to ask.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Is your aversion to being scared because you've been around, you know that there's lots of things in life to be scared of, like Prop 8? Is it just because it doesn't float your boat? It's just not your thing.
It's not comfortable for me. The first horror film that I remember seeing was a screening of Halloween before it ever aired or premiered.
Of course, your then husband, John Carpenter.
John had just asked me to marry him, and so I went to the screening of, you know, my fiance's film. Well, by the time the thing was over, poor John was black and blue because I kept going, you know. And I mean,
you're funny.
My kids still make fun of me because somebody will walk in the room and I'm like, you know, I don't like it. It's not fun for me, and I don't like to see blood and guts, and so.
Well, you're.
I like to do them. They're wonderful.
Yes, and you're such a woman of substance, and I have such an appreciation for that.
Thank you.
Not even death can take Lord Pumpkin!
I'm as sweet as a honeysuckle. They both.
Oh, no! I'm gonna make him into a pie! Let's get him!
Supper.
Don't smear my lips.
Don't smear mine. Don't smear my blood. It's Johnny Mitchell.
Thank you! Oh, nom, 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 nom. Nom, 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 nom. See, I'm deaf, I can just wait.
Look at his face. Look at this. Look at the height of his face. Phantom of the Opera material. Look at this. Sweetie, how'd you like one of these?
I like this.
Yeah, maybe?
I'm a belly dancer.
I got a room at the, I got a nice room overlooking the city, the Empire State Building, if that's not a phallic symbol. And I'm going to have Kong up there tonight.
All right, just give me my deal.
Rob Zombie. You get nothing. Nothing on you. You get nothing on me, man. You get nothing. Nothing.
Camera on my face.
Everybody thinks Captain Rhodes is such a bad guy, but look at this. These are my fans. This is my new fan base. Isn't that something?
bring him a surprise.
There's a crowd?
Yeah.
Stay over here. I get chills thinking about it.
Stand in the doorway.
You think it'll be alright if I just say?
Stand in the doorway. Hey, that's nice. Surprise for you, ladies and gentlemen. Because you got here early, I'd like to welcome somebody. You may remember him just by looking at his. Oh my Jesus! Whoa!
Yes. Oh yeah, exactly.
Thanks for coming out. Nothing like a Jersey crowd. Who brings you this shit? Who brings you this shit? Jersey City, we bring you this shit. Look at this crowd. Bigger than Times Square, man. Bigger than fucking Times Square. Look at this here. This guy fucking here. This guy was in Stalingrad. He fought the battles of Stalingrad, man. Come on. Come on, man. He needs his medication. He'll be all right. Jersey City, Joe Connell. Here you go, right now. Fucking Tom walks up. Everybody's like, whoa!
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it'll look beautiful.
That's great. See, that's what I want.
That's
like
carny, man.
interaction. Yeah.
That's carny.
Exactly.
When the sideshow chaos and mayhem of the main showrooms got to be a little much, we could always escape up to the third floor break room. This little out-of-the-way nook also featured a breathtaking balcony, which was, hands down, the best view of the grand lobby at the landmark Loews. For some reason, however, it also became a magnet, if you will, for some very, very bizarre activity.
It's supposed to be quiet in here! Be quiet!
This is a war, people, not a field trip.
Too funny.
I guess nothing. Let's go.
Call him Jimmy. James.
the second film that I tried to do has always been on.
This question is from Romero. I know that Fulci's Zombie came out at the same time that I was there. I just wanted to know how do you feel about that movie, Zombie?
Fulci?
Yeah.
I've had fun watching a couple of those, but man, I don't know. My films are my films, and I honestly don't particularly care what's going on as far as other people that are making zombie movies. My films are mine, and they're all to me. They're all sort of, each one is a little different, and I don't particularly care. Even if it's a remake even if it's a remake that I don't like. It's like somebody said, "Well, how do you like? What do you think of the way they ruined Day of the Dead?" And but people are always asking Stephen King, "What do you think about Hollywood ruining your books?" And Steve says, "My books aren't ruined. Here they are on the shelf right now." So.
I'd just like to say that's a damn shame. But how do you guys feel about the new CGI technology versus like working in a more practical, latex, old-fashioned way on some of the new films in particular? Which I know you've employed a lot of CGI that probably for budgetary reasons, if nothing else. But how do you guys feel about that?
I love CGI when it's done well. Okay. Us old timers grew up with Rick Baker's American Werewolf in London and seeing it was happening right in front of you. Now kids are growing up and they're being trained to accept. So I love when it's done well, but I think the collective dislike of it is that you have to pretend that what's happening is happening. And a lot of people don't want to make that effort. Us old timers, when we were watching the best of the masters that I mentioned, that it was happening right in front of you.
Question.
Being an old timer, and my wheelchair is right next to Tom's at the nursing home. I just finished a total CGI remake of Night of the Living Dead. It's called Origins, and based on literally and figuratively, almost to line and beat, George's original story. And I have to tell you,